Let's get it. Just the Thought Podcast. We are back with another one, another Just Sports Talk. I'm here with my homie co-host, aka P Talk Sports. What up, bruh? How's it going?
I'm doing well, bro. How are you? A lot of sports for us to talk about this week. It's looking good. It's looking bad for some people, but we'll get into it. How are you, man?
Bro, I'm doing good, yo. I'm doing good, man. Everything's good. I had a blessed week, another good week. Bro, we do
Yeah.
got a lot to talk about, man. Bro, guys, we're talking UFC chose NFL trades, a cancellation mega fight, which I didn't think was gonna happen in the first place. I'm talking Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. And then the NBA evolving before our eyes. All right, and yeah, we have a quick segment that we're gonna be featuring from here on out called Just Heat Takes You Didn't See Coming. Yes, sir. Bro,
Love it.
let's jump into this UFC, man. You know, this gambling saga. All right, with Isaac Delgarian. I think
Yeah.
Isaac Delgarian in the
Yeah.
cut.
Isaac Bulgarian. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro. Let me ask you this. Does the UFC create these kind of shows by underpaying fighters? Or is it just a view bad? Is it just ruining this sport? What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I honestly, it's on these fighters. Isaac Bulgarian made his own decision, bro. Again, irrespective to however much money you get paid, high or low, there is no instance, man, in that I would ever put myself in a position to be going and potentially to federal prison. Like, this is crazy, man. And again, I don't think the amount of money, whatever he was potentially going to get, is worth what potentially is about to happen, which all signs are pointing to. This is FBI involved. When the FBI gets involved, bruh, I don't think the 100,000, 200,000, or anything that he got or was potentially going to get is worth it at all, bro. And honestly, it's sad. It's sad to see because, again, this is a guy who, from all accounts, had good potential. He was training at a good gym, coached by Mark Montoya, who's revered by a lot of other coaches, a lot of other fighters, coaches some pretty successful fighters too. And, for him to distance himself from you after this tells us a lot about what he thinks of the situation, man. So it's sad. I think, regardless of what he was going to get paid, not worth it at all.
Yeah, man, I don't think it's worth it, and I think it. If anything, if that's the case, it just caused him a career in the UFC, man. I don't know. I think, especially when you're somebody that's not like top notch and you're trying to get there, when you do stupid acts like this, it's like, okay, we can just get rid of you. You're not a John Jones. You're not a George St. Pierre. You're not a Usman esque type of fighter. You know what I'm saying? So we can just get rid of you. Who cares? So I think it was stupidity, man. Let me ask you this. If gambling is now legal and encouraged in sports, how can we really realistically stop fighting fixes?
Man, they're going to have to. What they're about to do to him, like, in order to set a precedent to make sure it stops, it's going to have to be something like big time. Because again, we're seeing with the NBA, to prevent it going forward, we always know what happens. You always come down hard, pause, with a massive fine, suspension, jail time to prevent, deter the next person from wanting to do this. And again, I feel unfortunate for this guy because given what's been happening with the NBA, given now this big saga here with the UFC, they need to set an example. Someone has to be the face of, yeah, if you guys want to do it, this is what you'll get. And I don't think it's going to be slap on the wrist, oh, fine, a little bit of this. Nah, in order to really make sure no one ever does it again, you have to set the precedent early. And that's why I feel for him. He's the one that got caught first. It's going to be a massive, I think it's jail time on the way, for sure, if he's found guilty. We know, which, again, all signs are pointing to that.
Yeah, dog, it's over. they gotta set a they gotta set they gotta set a precedent example, and I think if you don't do this, there's gonna be another one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I and Dana's no joke, dog. He's one of the most intense bosses to work for. Like, you know that. Like, He should be kicked out, and he should be lucky if he doesn't get jail time. I personally believe that. I
It's
personally
fine.
believe that, bro.
Bro, especially in the
All
UFC, I
right.
was thinking this, bro. Like, you get a massive platform with the UFC to, again, even if you're not a big time fighter, you can go out there, make yourself a YouTube channel. You can go out there, get crazy sponsors because they look and say, oh, this guy's in the UFC. So you, literally, whatever money you were going to get for fixing this fight, if you were really about your brand, leveraging the UFC, bro, you could have made this money back easy. Easy. And now, hey, you're not going to
Easy.
probably have a fighting career at all.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know. Let me ask you this. Is the UFC becoming boxing where corruption is part of the brand?
Oh, I mean, listen, there's a couple of fights out there that I think need to be looked at after this, bro. Because I'm starting to look back at a couple of fights where there's some scorecards after we all watch a fight and we say, oh yeah, I think this guy won quite easy. All of a sudden, in a 3-round fight, it's 30-27 to someone who we all looked at. And we're like, hold on a second. You lost 2 rounds. Or you potentially even lost 3 rounds. But all of a sudden, you win the fight 3-0. So I'm thinking, hey, bro, like, some of these judges might be getting some money under the table to, hey, just, slide, just score a couple rounds here and there just to make sure the fight's close. I think, hey, this could be a boxing type situation because we've been seeing it in boxing for a long time. I remember Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, beat that boy 10 rounds to 2. Yet Adelaide Bird went out there and scored that fight a draw. Though that was the most egregious thing. And I think in MMA, you're starting to see it too, where egregious scorecards are starting to appear. So the UFC has got a little bit of a problem on their hands where they need to, again, set examples of judges, fighters, referees, so that they don't get to that point where boxing is getting with corruption.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually brought that up. With the Floyd Mayweather and Canelo, I actually watched a fight last night between Oscar De La Hoya and Shane Mosley. It was the second one, and boy, when you talk about BS and how the judges scored that fight, bro, if it gets to the point where that's gonna be like that Oscar De La Hoya and Sugar Shane Mosley situation, if it's gonna be like that in the UFC, you might lose a fan. Because
Yeah.
clearly, if boxing fans, if you've seen that fight, clearly Oscar De La Hoya won that fight. Like, if you go back and watch that, that was an embarrassment. And if that becomes a thing in the UFC, I personally believe that they're going to lose fans. We're already losing fans. The heavyweight division is questionable. Like, I don't think they should be going in that type of route, and that's why boxing has lost its touch, right? And it's coming back now, but like it's because of those fixed fights. It's because of those scorecards. It's because that the judges are not really judging. I don't know what they're seeing half of the time, but that can't become a thing in the UFC, bro. I personally
Honestly,
don't
bro,
think that.
again,
Let
fully
me
agree,
ask you
fully agree.
this. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Would half these scandals even happen if fighters actually had a union?
Oh, I think even if you had a union, in my opinion, I feel like the fighters would still make this decision. Again, this is a decision that individuals are making. Again, this is not as in like 10% or 15 or 20%. This is 0.1%. Like one person out of however many. Obviously, many more down the line we can be found. But NBA, for example, they have a union. Yet Terry Rozier, allegedly, Chauncey Billups, allegedly, all still made a decision. So to me, even if there was a union, people will still find a way. Again, if you're greedy, if you're a greedy person, you are still going to make that decision to say, "Hey, I'm gonna fix this and make myself some more money, make my friends or whatever the case may be some more money." So yeah, I don't think a union would help it because at the end of the day, if you're a person with integrity, you won't do it. If you're not, you will do it. Union doesn't change that decision for you.
Yeah, you do what you're signed up for. Period. You do what you signed up for. I like how you put allegedly on there because we do not know yet. We do
Yeah,
not know
yeah.
yet.
Hey,
Um, let's move on though. Let's move on to the NFL, man. So Sauce Gardner, man. The big trade talks right now. Um, Let me ask you this: is Sauce Gardner still elite without the Jets' defense around him?
We're about to find out. We're about to find out. I love me some Sauce Gardner, bro. I love me Sauce Gardner. Call me Jessica Alba. I love. Hey, actually, no. I Spice now. Call me that. I love me some Sauce Gardner because I remember Sauce, bro. Uh, he's an interesting one to me because I don't think he's elite as someone like Patrick Surtain. Of course not. Patrick Surtain's the best in the business. Not even close. But he's in that next tier below. I think he will find a way to be successful. I think there's those players who, regardless of what system they are playing in or team they're playing for, they'll be successful because, again, they're just naturally talented. They have crazy ability. Sauce is one of those players. And hey, I mean, they gave up 2 first-round picks. The Colts did for Sauce. So
Yep.
we better see some play where you are transforming that defense. And if you're not, then it gets a little bit awkward really quickly because, again, this is a Colts team. I think they've only lost 2 games this season. Danny Dimes is playing unbelievable. Jonathan Taylor's playing unbelievable. They needed something to, get that defense locked in a little bit, especially after that loss to the Steelers. And now, if Sauce could be that difference maker, which I think he can, maybe we're talking Super Bowl. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Don't do that yet, bro. Come on, man. Don't do that.
You don't believe
Don't
in
do
Sauce?
that.
You believe in Sauce?
They
No,
don't-
you believe?
Don't do that. I still believe in, and we talked about it last week. Those Bills, man. There's something to look at. There's something to look at, and I think this is their year. But we'll see what Gardner does. I think he's in a position where if he can impact the team he plays for, I think it depends on his impact on the team in order for him to make the team more successful. But I'm not counting on him. I'm not counting on him. I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
So are the Colts finally building something or just collecting highlight names?
Man, the Colts are a weird one to me because the whole season I've just been saying to myself, 2020 Steelers. That's the whole thing that's been going through my mind because I remember the Steelers came out one year, I think it was 2020. They were 8-0 and they looked, not even looked, they were frauds. And you were saying to yourself, at some point in time, the flip is going to happen. They're going to show them who the real Steelers were that year. The Colts, after they just lost to the Steelers, it felt as though it was like, has that time just come where these guys have been exposed as frauds, Because now, obviously, you get your defensive piece, but I don't know. I'm not a believer in the Colts, bro. I'm really not. I think you'll see real soon.
Not even with the defense. Not even
Not
with
even
the
with the
defense. You don't
defense.
believe him?
As you just said, give me the Bills. Give me even the Pats. The way that they're balling right now, Drake May, shout out to him. Give me the Chiefs. I know people will say, "Oh, the Chiefs are 5-4." I don't care. They have Patrick Mahomes. They have that team. All the weapons are back now. They'll be fine. I'm taking all those teams before I take the Colts because I really just feel Danny Dimes. At some point in time, he will come back down to earth, and he will be the real Danny Dimes that we know him to be. Again, that's not something I'm trying to wish him on, but I just don't believe. I don't believe, man. I don't believe in that team.
We'll see, bro. Right, like you said, man, they've only lost 2. They have a solid defense. But there's something missing. Like I said, with Buffalo is the seasoned team, right? We know that from previous years. They are the seasoned team. They are the team that cannot be beaten this season. Playoffs is another story, but I don't think Indiana is a better team than the Bills. And
Yeah.
me and you can agree on that one. I don't think I don't have faith in that team, but they do have a good defensive team. I would have to admit that. Um, which team actually benefits more from this trade now than 3 years from now?
Ooh. Give me the Jets, man. Hey, those 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Hey, just let me. 2 first-round picks for Sauce. I know New York historically, the Jets especially, they've never done really much. But I really do believe, man, this Colts team, it's 1 or 2 year window, maybe, right? Okay, let's say it's a 1 or 2 year window. Give me the Jets with those 2 first-round picks that they have, and then they also have the picks from the Quinn and Williams trade as well. They surely can find a way to draft a good quarterback. And again, you've got Brees Hall there. There's someone else who I'm forgetting. The Jets will find a way to actually be good from this. I'm telling you, I believe. I think this is the era where the Jets finally stop being the Jets. You don't believe.
Yeah,
I
P.
can see it in your
Yeah,
eyes that you
P.
don't believe.
Yeah, P. We gonna have to disagree, bro. You usually have great takes, bro. We got to disagree on that one. Anybody that goes to the Jets, that is a career-ending place. When you put on that green and white jersey, your career has ended. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. When you go to the Jets, it's like you're disrespecting yourself.
Yeah.
You know life is done after that. You know your football career is over, and I never believed in the Jets. Since the 90s, they've been garbage.
But my thing, man, I'm looking at the Colts. The Colts, I mean, guess they had Peyton, they had Andrew Luck. But let's look at this team right now. Do I feel like this getting Sauce Gardner is a move that I feel makes it, okay, we got to make the playoffs. I don't know if it's Super Bowl or bust just yet. Maybe in next year it can be. But to me, I don't see the Colts winning anything over the next 3 years. Because again, you have to beat the Ravens, who again, they just got Lamar back. Then you have to beat the Chiefs, the Bills. They are, in my mind, again, as good as Danny Dimes has played in the regular season, they will not beat any of those teams in the playoffs. I honestly believe that. Which means, given what how this team is built, what they're supposed to do, which I think is maybe be a Super Bowl contender or potentially even win one, I don't think they're going to do that. Whereas the Jets, you have rebuilding pieces, which feels like we're here for like the 10th rebuild that the Jets have done. But I would rather have, 3 first-round picks and a second round.
It's been 20 years, P. It's been 20 years. What are you talking about? Been 20
Eras change, bro. Eras change. I have seen teams be bad, and they found a way to. It will happen. Don't worry. We saw the Bengals stinking up for a long time. They got Joe Burrow, and they went to the Super Bowl within 2 years, right? There's a lot of teams, I'm telling you, that have been hot garbage. The Buffalo Bills were hot garbage for a minute. Josh Allen changed everything for them. Just have a little faith. It starts with a good QB. That's what they need, and hey, Jesus take the wheel after that.
They need church. They need something. That's what. Let me ask you a question that might piss people off, and this is on NFL, but this is off the topic a little bit. Is the Eagles' dominance more about media bias than real football?
Nah, I think the Eagles they are really the Eagles. I don't think media bias has anything to play with it. I think the Eagles are the real deal. To me, if you ask me right now who I think is going to win the Super Bowl, give me the Eagles. They are that team. I think the only thing with the Eagles is that they haven't really had a healthy team so far this season, like everyone being on the field at one time. Again, if they've got everyone back healthy come playoff time, to me, they're the favorite to go back to back. Because, again, Saquon hasn't really got it going. But I think that's not been because Saquon's been bad or the offensive line has been bad. We would rather hold Saquon to absolutely minimal, damage and let, Jalen Hurts, you beat us. And Jalen Hurts, he got paid the big money for a reason and he's actually showed up a little bit now. And that's what you need. So I think this team is the real deal. And come playoff time, if all the dogs are healthy on that team, that's my pick to go back to back, for sure.
Oh, man, I'm starting to hate those Philly fans.
I don't like Philly fans, though. I'll tell you that for free,
dude, and it's not because they took Saquon Barkley from us. I'm a Giants fan, people, if y'all don't know that. That's why I went off about the Jets. But, they're no threat. They're no threat. Any Giants fan can tell you that. The Jets are no damn threat. Anyway, back to those Philly fans. They are sore winners. They're becoming sore winners. They're becoming like the Patriots to me. Like, and it's a little jealousy thing. We want to say Saquon Barkley. We're kind of upset that he went somewhere else and won the Super Bowl. Yeah, I can admit that, but it. I don't want to see them go back to back. If that's to answer your question, that would
You
be
don't?
horrible. I do not want to see Philly go back to
Okay.
back. I don't want to see them win another championship for a while. Because they were kind of annoying about it, and they kind of like, made it extra. You saw those videos of them partying in Philly. But they have a good team, man, and unfortunately, I have to agree with you. They have everybody's back from their injury. I think they have the pieces to go to the Super Bowl. And Jalen Hurts, man, this is his time. And that dude can work miracles in the middle and the end of the game, man. And Philly definitely has a chance to go back. Unfortunately.
Hey man, I'm the same as you, bro. They turned that city into Gotham after they won that Super Bowl. I had videos, Kevin Hart, Bradley Cooper, all these. Feels like every celebrity under the sun all of a sudden was from Philly after they won the Super Bowl.
Right?
So,
Since when, right?
I'm like, bro, half of you dudes. Hey, I know they've got. Hey, actually, Bradley Cooper, I'll give him love. They're real fans. He's actually, But Kevin Hart, I swear to God, I never see this man anywhere near the Eagles. Then all of a sudden, when they're any sort of Super Bowl run, he spawns and he's the biggest Eagles fan of all time. But other than that,
Bro,
never see him at any games.
Him and Gilly the Kid are the most annoying fans. I love Gilly and Kevin, but they are so annoying, bro. Annoying as hell. Gilly, go ahead.
You think Jalen Hurts is a top 5 QB in the NFL?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Okay. If you like, listen, and this is not just be like, if you carry your team to a Super Bowl, even though I was more Barkley, you have to be top 5. You got to be. I think this year will prove it. If he's not, if he's in the top 6 or in that top 7, I think this year will prove it, depending on how he comes back and how they do in the playoffs, for sure.
I didn't see it. Again, if they, especially the way
I didn't see it too. That's why I said that. Yeah, let him. When he just came back, let's see what happens.
Yeah, not fair.
Let's see what happens. All right, moving on, man. We gotta talk about this damn cancellation. So, guys, if you did not notice, Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis were supposed to fight on the 15th of this month. And a cancellation happened, right? We didn't expect it to be an entertaining match, right? I don't know if people actually believed that Jake Paul was going to win the fight. I think that's a little foolish, right? If you're a boxing fan, if you know about boxing, you know clearly Gervonta Davis was going to win that fight. So, what is your opinion on this cancellation, and why do you think it didn't take place?
Man, Jake Paul and Tank, to me, it must be sales. Sales must have been down low, down bad, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this has been just cancelled. Because they said, again, for the last couple of months, the rumor has been that ticket sales have been low. Interest level actually has not been that high. Again, because you got a dude that's 190 pounds, that's not a professional boxer, going up against a guy whose last fight was 135 pounds, who's a professional boxer. It's like, bro, I get doing these sort of exhibition matches. If Gervonta was retired, he's an active fighter that's a world caliber fighter, and is not fighting that caliber. He's fighting Jake Paul. And I think that's why the interest was not really that high. And I think that's why they've got the cancellation right now, man. I never wanted to see it. I wanted to see Gervonta rematch Lamont Roach. I wanted to see Jake go do whatever fights he wants to do against guys like the Tommy Furies, the KSIs. I want to see Gervonta in against Lamont. And I'm happy about this, because now it puts us one step closer to getting that fight.
Bro, I like your response, Joe, because it's like, yo, Jake Paul, go fight somebody that doesn't know boxing, dog. We don't need you. I like that response. But realistically, like, I know it sounds stupid because, bro, you know a lot about sports, and I know you're when it comes to sports, like, you're a real student of the game, bro. So I feel stupid asking this question, but Who did you think was actually going to win the fight, and how close did you think it was going to be if they actually fought?
Bro, it's like I honestly, people can call me delusional. I was picking Javante. You can tell me, irrespective of size or whatever, I think it was just going to be a show. Like, I don't think any of them were actually going to try take it serious. Because off the bat, the first thing you think to yourself is, okay, Jake is way bigger than Javante. He can just one punch knock him out. Well, I watched Alexander Usyk at 228 pounds beat a guy that was 50 pounds heavier than him in Tyson Fury, who was also, 7 inches taller than him as well? These are the same things that we would have been seeing between Javante and Jake Paul. So to me, I was still going to take Javante because every single day of the week and any time I pick a fight in boxing, I always take the skilled little guy over the big punching heavy guy every single time. And I've seen it happen before. I would have picked it to happen again. I would have taken Tank Davis to beat him as well.
Right. We've seen this happen multiple times, right? With the George Foreman and Ali fight. George Foreman was like 40 pounds heavier than him, 30 pounds heavier than him. Don't quote me. I know it was a big gap. And yeah, Usyk versus Fury. I think Jake Paul I think Tank would have stayed away from him in the first 2 or 3 rounds. It kind of would have been like a cat and mouse game. For the first 3, I think Jake Paul would eventually got tired, and that's when Tank would have went to work. I personally believe that. And I think it was a joke. Do I think some of us would have watched it? Yes, we're boxing fans. We would have watched it, right? Come on, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm gonna watch it.
100%.
Yeah, but nobody wanted it to happen, right? We still want Tank versus Lamont Roach. I think that's the fight that should be next. It makes more sense, right? Some people think that Lamont Roach won the fight.
I'm one of those people.
Talk about that. All right. Yeah. So I think we should run that back. That makes more sense. Will it do numbers? Will it do more numbers than if Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul would have fought? I don't think so. Just because Jake Paul is a YouTuber and he has a fan base of his own, I don't think so. But boxing experts and people that enjoy the sport want to see Roach and Tank go back at it. If we were to put a fight between Jake Paul and an opponent, here where it makes sense, because I don't want to dabble too much into this. Mm-hmm. It makes sense, him versus Conor McGregor.
There you go.
That's the fight. That's the only fight I want to see. I don't. Two guys know how to promote. Mm-hmm. 2 guys. Everybody wants to see these 2 guys get their ass beat. Period.
Yeah.
It makes more sense. Shit talker versus shit talker. Fan base versus fan base. I think it makes more sense.
You might break the pay-per-view. Hey, that pay-per-view record, I love Floyd. He's my boy. But the pay-per-view record might go if you do Conor and Jake. I genuinely think the pay-per-view record might go. Because, again, as you say, 2 shit talkers, elite level, dudes who, again, the Conor McGregor fan base is unbelievable. Jake Paul has got the whole YouTube audience. You bring that together, I think both guys are making $200 million plus. Easily.
Easily, bro. And let's be real here. Is Conor McGregor gonna come back to the UFC?
Absolutely not. No way. He said he's trying to get back onto the White House card. Oh, wait, bro, no, I don't believe in Santa, and I don't believe Conor McGregor is coming back to fight, bro. No way in hell. No way.
And come on, man. Come on. It makes more sense. I don't know. To me, it's like those are the type of fights I would like to see Jake Paul. So I'm glad it got canceled, and I really hope that they don't want to do it in the future because it doesn't make sense. I think Gervonta is actually seriously trying to create a legacy, and no disrespect to Jake Paul. Jake Paul is actually a fighter. He can fight, but I don't think personally he is that as serious as Tank did. Look at what Tank did. Look at his record. To fight a Jake Paul YouTube type dude that's only fought basketball players and retired UFC fighters and a bum Tommy Fury. No offense. I don't think I don't think it makes sense for Tank, and I think this can ruin his legacy. So I'm happy it got canceled, bro. I'm happy, bro. That just
What I will say
it
real
doesn't
quick
make
though
sense.
about Tank is that when he comes back to boxing, hey, it's time, Tank. Like we need to see these big time fights, man. Because again, Devin Haney, that was supposed to be a fight. Devon's now at 147, about to fight Brian Norman. He was supposed to fight potentially was supposed to fight Lomachenko back in the day. Lomachenko's now retired. He was supposed to potentially fight Teofimo. Teofimo's gone up. All these dudes who've circled around who I think could have helped Tank's legacy and fought them, I feel like he's only fought one, and that was Ryan Garcia. Again, credit, you knocked him out, you got the body shot, that's all well and good, but listen, man, Tank, bro, let's get these big time fights. Let's get a belt around Tank. Let's see how good Tank really is. Because again, yeah, great, you get the win against Ryan Garcia, but we need to start seeing you in there with these other bigger names to enhance your legacy. Get some more belts, and I think he's got the ability, the skill, everything to do it. I don't know whether it's him chasing money, what the whole thing is, but I hope we get to see Tank 2026. Hey, let's get some belts around Tank. That's what I want to see.
You know what I want to see, and I want you to comment on this because I would like to hear your opinion. You know what I want to see? I want to see Gervonta Tank Davis versus Shakur. That's the fight I want to see
Ooh,
before he retires. Before Tank
yes,
retires, that fight needs to happen. Who do you think would win that fight?
bruh. Hey, I'm actually taking Shakur Stevenson to win that fight, bro. I always go for the more skilled guy, and to me, Shakur. I know people say he's got a boring style, pillow puncher. To me, he is unbelievably skilled. And I know there's that tape of them back in the day sparring in the gym. I think it's them too, Shakur, and Tank. Give me Shakur to win this fight because Shakur to me has been more active. And even if people want to say, oh, he got hit, he's been stunned before. Okay, cool. Everyone's been hit and stunned before. Crawford was hit and stunned plenty of times. He went out there and just schooled a big puncher in Canelo Alvarez. Tank is a great puncher, big puncher. But against Shakur to me is arguably what the most skilled boxer behind Usyk and Crawford to me, even Inoue. I think in terms of pure skill, Shakur could be fourth, top five in boxing right now in the world. So if he fought Tank, give me Shakur to win that fight.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't even give you an opinion. I would say after seeing what Lermont Roach and Tank did in the first fight, I'm leaning against Shakur Stevenson myself. Shakur Stevenson's a masterclass, bro. He reminds me a lot of Floyd. You know, a lot of don't compare him to Floyd. Just and I'm only comparing them in a sense where they're just masters of what they do. And I think Shakur is someone that Tank should be scared of. Some would say Tank is ducking him. I'm not gonna say that because I'm a Tank fan, but I would love to see that fight happen before Tank decides to retire from the sport. Because we heard him talking about it multiple times. I don't know if it's a rumor. I don't know if it's clickbait, rage bait, or whatever. But I think that fight needs to happen before he leaves, or Haney, or Devin Haney, or
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So we'll see what happens with that. But overall, Tank, thank you, Jake Paul. Thank you for not letting this stupidity
God,
happen.
bro. God is the greatest. Thank you.
Thank God, our prayers were answered. Thank God. All right, so let's go into NBA, man. We got a lot of topics to talk about, but I want to talk to you first about analytics. All right, and how NBA is using like AI, right? And how we're not talking about Allen Iverson, guys. Unfortunately, not. All right, but let's talk about these next gen analytics, and let's talk about AI in the league. So let me ask you this, bro. How much analytics is too much before basketball loses its creativity?
Oh man, we get to a point. I think even you would have noticed it in the off season where again it's a lot of numbers being brought up, all like way a lot more. And I think when you look at the way that we talk and analyze basketball, I think a lot of it used to be a lot of eye test. It wasn't really referring to all these advanced stats because obviously we used to just go, okay, well, how many points a game are you averaging? How many rebounds? How many assists? What's your field goal percentage? Now we're obviously true shooting. That's a pretty basic one. But now we're going even further that you get this analytic, all this. So I think it helps the game in a way to really understand it more in depth to see again. Because if the coaches and the teams are using it, why should we as fans not sort of do it the same to help us consume the content, consume the games, all this sort of stuff? It does get a little bit too much sometimes. Like again, I'm looking at Daryl Morey and the Houston Rockets when I say this, where your whole game plan is we're not going to do no mid range, no post ups because the analytics tell us to shoot threes and layups only. Obviously it's transformed the league, but I think we still need to have that element of eye test it sometimes. Just because someone isn't the greatest stats wise or anything like that, if you are on the eye test and you look good to me, you're a great player to me. Carmelo Anthony comes to mind when I'm saying something like that. Paolo Banchero, present day, is someone that comes to mind when I say something like that. Where, again, the stats, the advanced, super advanced stats may tell us one thing, but the eye test, sometimes tells me a little bit of a different story. So it's a balance. We have to find a balance between, again, leaning too much into it, but actually, still maintaining how we, being just normal NBA fans.
Yeah, I think it's a balance. I think like you said, I think it's necessary for us to do a balance, right? Because I think a couple years ago, the NBA lost a little bit in ratings, and I get that the NBA wants to stay up to date with analytics and having the people see the NBA in a different perspective instead of watching people play. They want people to see the science behind it, and I think that's cool, right? Because we're moving into a next generation basketball. But when LeBron is gone, that's when everything will change. And I think the NBA is preparing for that. And I think with this new analytics and everything that is coming into play, I think it's cool. But I don't want to be a fan because we've been fans for a long time, you and I. I don't want it to be to the point where I'm watching a computer style game instead of the actual game itself. So I would like a balance. I don't want a 70-30. I think a 70-30 you're going to lose fans because it's going to become too draining to watch, right? We're going to watch a math class instead of watching an actual basketball game. And I don't think that is necessary, but I think it is cool. And I think the way that the NBA is trying to update itself and what they want to do going forward, I think it's a good idea. But I think they need to chill out a little bit on the All-Star game. Because when they add the analytics to the All-Star game, it tends to become a little weird. I think that's the reason why they've been trying to do these formats for the last 3 or 4 years. But yeah, man, it has to be a balance. And I think it's going forward, that's the only way it's gonna make sense. Let me ask you this. Are players developing skill or just optimizing numbers now?
Oh, no, I think it's definitely the skill. These players are way more skilled, modern day, than what you've ever seen before. And again, it's the evolution of basketball. Even players in the 2000s, players who are sitting on the bench now, like end of the bench in the 2020s, like, bro, they are better than some of those players, if not most, of the players from 2000s, 90s, 80s, whatever generation. They are unbelievable. And again, some of them, especially the ones overseas right now, the top five players, all from Europe or, exchange from Canada, it's just, I think basketball is just going all over the world now, which means, again, all these unbelievable athletes who used to play soccer or other different sports or whatever, they're coming over to play basketball, and the skill level that we're seeing, it's incredible, and it's about to take another step. It's about to go off, especially, I think, where we are right now in 10 years' time, it's about to be, the skill level is going to be even more insane than what it is right now. So it's skill for me over analytics.
Oh, my brother. I'm going to
Okay, here
have
we
to
go.
agree and disagree. And this is where I agree. I think we're in a time where we're seeing kids develop at an early age. Bro, I can't tell you how many times I've seen middle school basketball games that look like Division I basketball games. You see these kids dunking at 5th, 6th grade. Oh, you know how many videos I've seen? Oh, he's 6'10". He's only an 8th grader. Like, we see these videos all the time. It's starting to become a norm. Like, if I see a 7-footer dribbling a basketball, okay, I see that all the time. They're becoming more skilled. It's the skill set and the creativity from these players coming up or that are currently in the league is phenomenal. I don't think we've seen this type of talent in our lifetime. And I'm not discrediting the old school. Of course, they are the pioneers. But in these day and age, 7-footers, centers, being point guards, being shooting guards, you have so many centers in the league that play 1 through 5. All right, it's becoming a norm. So definitely there's creativity there. This is where I disagree with you. There are a lot of players that are stat patters, right? And I'm not gonna throw Mr. Russell Westbrook out there because he happens to be one of my favorite players. Some will argue that he is a stat patter. I think some players do it for numbers. And you can tell by the way they play, right? You see it in games. You see the way they get their stats up. And it hurts the game. And I think we didn't see it as much from that generation before us. We're starting to see a lot of it now, and I think it starts to become a numbers game. Is it over affecting what's going on in the league? No, I don't think so. But we do see that from time to time. That's why I have to agree and disagree a little bit.
Hey, there's some stat patters out there. I know one. He plays for Sacramento Kings from Lithuania. That should narrow it down exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yup. And am I gonna Sabonis?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this, and this is a question I've been wanting to ask this whole time.
Uh-huh.
All right, and this is about Allen Iverson, not AI. Well, technically about AI too. All right. Would analytics even respect a player like Allen Iverson in today's NBA?
Bruh, analytics would absolutely eviscerate Allen Iverson modern day right now. Because if you look at every single advanced stat for Allen Iverson, shooting wise, percentage wise, it is horrendous. Because again, you had a guy that, all credit to him, was a 6 foot, was averaging 33 points per game in some of his best seasons. But the shooting splits were diabolical. 39%, 40%. I think 4 scoring titles in 3 of those seasons. I think it's sub 40 or sub 42%. Advanced stats would, the way that kids sort of look back at it, would be saying, nah, man, this guy was not a good scorer until you see the points. Then you'd go, oh, okay. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when you look at Allen Iverson, if I just blocked the points, what someone was, again, the points total, and just showed you what the shooting was looking like, you'd say, this player is terrible. Like, what are you talking about? And then the minute I show you the 30 and show you it's Allen Iverson, it's, oh, well, but it's AI. It's Allen Iverson, So Allen Iverson modern day right now, I think would be eviscerated because you see Shea, he's averaging 31 on 50% shooting. Luka is averaging 40 on like 48% shooting, So for a guy to be 33 points with 42% shooting or less, yeah, he would be eviscerated.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'll agree with you on that. I don't think a lot of things would add up.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on, man. So we're down. What? This is week 3 in the NBA. All right. So surprise team and breakout teams. I want to get into this. So right now we got the Detroit Pistons leading the Eastern Conference. Right. We got the Detroit Pistons. We got the Chicago Bulls, son. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers. We got the Milwaukee Bucks. Of course, the New York Knicks, the Sixers, and the Heat, the Raptors, and those are the teams that are above 500 right now. And then, of course, in the West, we got the Thunder. LA, we got to talk about, of course, the Spurs, the Nuggets, Portland Trail Blazers, the Rockets, the Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors. All those teams are above 500, bro. So some unexpected power shifts and underrated talent. This is what this topic is called. Yo, so let me ask you this, bro. Which team feels like the new version of the 2011 Maverick story, the sleeper nobody is watching?
Sleeper that nobody is watching. You could say a little bit of Chicago Bulls on here, but no. I'm going another direction. I'm going with the Portland Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers. After everything I said about them in the preseason, the offseason, I was saying that they would be outside the play-in. Portland Trailblazers, I thought the Chauncey Billups situation would mess them up. Nope, it did not. They are 4-1 without Chauncey Billups as the head coach. I'm looking at a team that they have got wings that fly around the court. Defensively, they're elite. My questions around that team were offensively. Drew Holiday has solved and literally cured everything because he is playing at an unbelievable level. Again, these last couple of years in Boston, we thought, man, Drew Holiday's now a role player. Nope, no, he's not. He was doing that because of what he was being asked to do. That offense is looking good. That defense is looking good. And this is all before they get Damian Lillard back next season. I think when I look at that Portland Trailblazers team, they are going to cause some people some serious problems. If they make it to the playoffs, that's not the team I want to play because it would be a tough series. So I think the Portland Trailblazers, I'll give them some serious love, man. They deserve it.
So are you telling me that the Blazers are gonna miss the play-in, or are they gonna be a play-in team?
They will make the play-in. They will make the play-in. The Blazers will make the
All right,
play-in.
so you're not necessarily sold on them. If they're making the play-in, you're not necessarily sold yet.
I mean, okay, listen. I don't know. I can't double down yet because I've got 6 solid spots in the West that are taken. They will be 7, 8, 9, 10 region, and if they play well in that situation, they could make the playoffs. Yeah, they could make the playoffs. Right now, I think they're trending towards making the playoffs. They're playing that well right now.
Guys, expect that answer to change multiple times. They ain't making no damn playoffs.
You don't
Listen,
believe?
I don't have no Portland. No, they're on fire right now. I know they're 5-3. I don't think they're playing at best, but they're not getting out of the play-in. Come on, that Western Conference is scary and it's different in the playoffs. I don't think Drew Holiday alone can do it. Drew Holiday though. I'm going to give him his flowers, though. Drew Holiday is one of the most underrated basketball players in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask any player that's played against him or played on his team, they would say he's the hardest person they would say he's the hardest person to go by, and they would say on offense he's the hardest person to stay in front of. I've heard it so many stories on podcasts. Drew Holiday, bro, that man is one of the most underrated basketball players in NBA history. He's not the most, but he's one of them, definitely. So, what does this season say about how unpredictable the NBA has become?
Man, so far it tells us this modern day NBA, it's just whatever you think is going to happen, just literally, hey, obviously it's 1 or 2 teams like OKC that they are being OKC, but the Lakers, I don't imagine a lot of us thought they would have lost only 2 games. If I told you that Luka would have missed multiple games, Reeves would have missed multiple games, LeBron wouldn't have played, and then they had a game where all 3, Reeves, Luka, and LeBron weren't playing, and they won the game, you would have been like, no, bro, shut up, like that's crazy. Yet the Lakers have found a way to do that. They're surprising us. The Bulls are surprising us. The Blazers are surprising us. There's all these teams shocking us because this modern day NBA, bro, like, again, it's no longer like teams having to be built on big threes and then a bunch of dudes who are, again, I don't want to use this word, but I have to use it here, like, end of the bench scrubs, Every single player, as we just spoke about before, is so skilled nowadays. They are so skilled. So if you have 2 tier 2, tier 1 sort of players, the elite level players, and then you add them next to tier 3 players, bro, these teams can shock you. And it's about skill. These players are way more skilled. They're no longer just, I'm a specialist. I'm a great defender. No, I'm a great defender that can also shoot threes. I'm a guy that can put the ball on the floor and create my own shot for others. There's plenty more of those guys on teams nowadays. The Bulls are showing you that. And again, I think a team like the Blazers is showing you that. And the Pistons, who have got a top 5 point guard, Cade Cunningham, my team. Again, it's unpredictable, but because if the more skilled players you have in your squad nowadays, yeah, the better you're going to do.
Wait, let's not go past that. Are you claiming the Pistons are your team? Are you a Cade Cunningham fan?
No, I've been a Pistons fan. Suffering through the Greg Monroe era, suffering through Andre Drummond. I watched Josh Smith, Andre Drummond, and Greg Monroe all run together on a squad and hated life. I deserve what's happening for me right now, which is watching
My brother.
Cade Cunningham, top 5 point guard in the league.
My brother, I respect you even more, man. I can understand your pain.
Hey, Meek Mill said it, bro. Yeah. I used to pray for times like this.
We used to pray for times like this. We're up right now. We're up. Pause, but we're up right now. And listen, if you can survive those eras, you're a real fan. You're a real fan.
Yeah.
I can say that. Okay. So you said the Blazers. I would say for me, the Chicago Bulls. Josh Giddey, man. I did not expect this from him, bro. And it's unfortunate that we saw bits and pieces of that when he was in OKC, but I can only imagine if he would have stayed there, how dangerous they would have even been even more. But seeing him turn into this player that we did not expect. What can you say about Josh Giddey's game? And do you think he's a potential star? And do you think he can be the face of the Bulls?
100% can be the face of the Bulls. Josh Giddey is a guy who I have believed in since he was in OKC. And again, there's footage of me saying this because I said the only reason why Josh Giddey was not going to work in OKC need athletic wings that are willing to shoot the three, play high level of defense. And Josh Giddey's a guy that needs the ball in his hands to succeed. He's not really a guy that you want to be playing a Lou Dort role or Isaiah Joe role or Cason Wallace role. They already have SGA as the main guy. He can't be the main guy already. So if you put him in situations where Shea missed games, you saw Giddey do what he's doing on the Bulls right now. When SGA missed games, Giddey's stats would be exactly like what they are now. And now he's in a spot in a situation where the team feels like it's properly built around him. You got athletic wings like Matas Bazelis. You've got guys that can shoot the three ball like Ayo Dosunmu, Trey Jones. And then you've got a big man in Vucevic who's the perfect big for Josh Giddey as well. And now you are seeing him do it. And I truly believe Josh Giddey, if he can stay healthy, he will be an all-star this year. He will be an all-star.
Now you know what? We're going to have to see how that plays out. I agree. I think he has the potential to be an all-star this year. Bro, I'm really surprised what he's doing over there. And I am curious to see how that's going to work out. I'm kind of on the border of they can probably finish sixth, like a 6th seed or a 5th seed. I don't think they're going to be top 4, but if the Bulls can potentially miss the play-in and be that top 6 seed, I think it looks good for Chicago. Seriously. So let me ask you this. Are breakout players proving that player development matters more than draft hype?
Yeah, player development for sure matters way more. Because again, some of these guys, let's think, for example, in OKC, Jalen Williams was the 13th pick in the draft, and now he is the second best player on his team, right? You've got Tyrese Halliburton, who, again, he was not like a top 3 pick in his draft, yet he is, played the way that he is. It's all about player development. OKC is one of the best teams at doing that. The San Antonio Spurs are one of the elite teams at doing that. It does not matter where some of these guys are drafted. Number one, it has to be work ethic. These guys have to be willing to put in the work. But in addition, number 2, you have to have an organization that's got elite level, player development coaches who put these guys into positions where, again, your skill level just advances all of a sudden. Like Donovan Mitchell when he was with the Jazz. Player development like that, where you just have guys who, again, if they have the work ethic, you have the right system to build them, doesn't matter if I draft you 30th or if I draft you number one. I can make you, we can help you become a great player, great star in this NBA.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think player development matters. And I think right, we've seen so many late round, second round players that have had so much success. Draymond Green is one of them, right? So I think it matters over draft. But there's been cases where we've seen the first round first pick be horrible as well. Look what Kwame Brown, Anthony
I knew you
Bennett,
those
right? Do we even know these dudes? Andrew Bynum in some cases, even though he won a ring, what a bust. Um, I would say, yeah, man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I think it's just good for the camera. I don't think it really matters in how your career is going to go in the NBA. Personally, um, is this the most wide open NBA season in the last 10 years?
Or feels like it, man. It feels like it a little bit because, again, as much as we all keep saying OKC, that's the favorite. Man, the Denver Nuggets are right there. The Lakers are shocking us in the West. We didn't think they would be this good. The Rockets are there as well. The Golden State Warriors, if they can find a way to get these guys healthy, they're there as well. I know people call me crazy. I still believe in the Clippers. And then in the East, you got the Cavs, you got the Knicks. The Bucks are surprising us. The Bulls are surprising us. The Pistons are surprising us. There are so many teams. The Magic are going to figure it out. The Hawks are going to figure it out. This is scary hours, man. And you have to get to these playoff series, and it's going to take a lot out of you. And I really just going to believe it's whoever's going to be the most healthy come playoff time will be the team that wins because, again, you have a team that I could be better than you, but it's just not my series in terms of health, and I lose that series. And that's how wide open it is. Anyone can beat anyone in this new NBA.
Yeah, I like it. I like it, man. I like that part. I like that. We don't know who's gonna win. All right, we obviously we have OKC as the favorite because they won last year, but I like it. It's wide open. It's wide open, and we're seeing these standings right now, and I was shocked to see what teams like Portland and Chicago are doing. So it's wide open, bro, and I think it's cool. So let's move on to this damn NBA Cup. Oh man, because we're not gonna go too much into this because I want to do our new segment. So let me ask you this: is the NBA Cup the smartest idea Adam Silver's ever had, or his biggest miss?
I actually think it's one of the best. It's one of the best ideas because again, you get these players actually in the middle of the season instead of going, "Hey man, I'm gonna sit out a game." Like Giannis, for example, I'm gonna sit out a game against the Bulls today. Hey, now you got guys actually wanting to win and go all out to win this, in season tournament. I think it's actually be really good for the game. You got the different courts. I wish they could get the special kits as well, just make it even more hyped up. But I love what Adam Silver has done with this. It's just a little additional piece where guys play even more competitive for a period of time from October to December. It's a great idea. Adam Silver, he's an innovator. He's had some misses, but this is one of those hits. I like the NBA Cup, man. How about you?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I do like the courts. I think the courts are dope. I think, and I want to ask you this, so I'm not going to answer this yet, but I think the NBA Cup highlights certain teams, and I
Mm.
think it helps us pay attention to small market teams. Um, I think it's unique. But I don't think they should glorify it as much as a championship.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know out there, but obviously me and P follow the NBA. Sometimes they can be annoying with their Instagram posts and they like post the cup like it's a championship. Who's the MVP? Nobody really cares about that. It's supposed to be something fun, like a round robin type of thing, So I want them to keep it like that. I don't want them to be I don't want this to be on people's accomplishments like, oh, he's like two-time NBA Cup MVP. Nobody cares about that. So it shouldn't be bigger than what it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if the NBA can like separate it from like how they do the summer league and how they do preseason and how they do the play-ins and all that stuff, if they can like keep that separated and not put it on a pedestal like a championship, then yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah.
100%. I'm 100%. So, I kind of answered this question, but I want to hear your opinion. Could this mid-season tournament actually help smaller market teams make a name for themselves?
1,000,000%. That's what the NBA Cup I think helps out for, is to actually put like a team, let's say like the Pistons or like the Bulls or the Blazers. These younger, smaller teams, I think they come into the NBA Cup and use it as an opportunity to, hey, let's show these other teams that we mean business, that we're actually real. Because again, if this was just another throwaway regular season game, I think, let's say Pistons versus Nets, for example, if this is not NBA Cup, no one's really caring much about it. I think people probably still didn't care about it as much, but what it does is the Pistons get themselves closer to being in a quarterfinal against, let's say a bigger team, like the Knicks, for example, and that's where you're on a big stage. And they want to put themselves in a position where they play in Vegas to win it. They are going all out and making a name for themselves. These Cades, the Jalen Durans, or other guys like Denny Avdia on the Portland Trailblazers. You use this in big spots to make yourself a bigger name, your team a bigger name. And again, now in a couple of years' time, when you guys are making your playoff runs, Adam Silver has what he wants, which is new stars,
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Man. All right, guys, we're gonna introduce our new topic, Just Heat. All right, well, we're giving you top fives randomly, so it could be NBA, NFL, WWE, UFC, anything, track. It don't matter. We just throwing out random top fives. But today's top five, we're gonna be focusing on the NBA. All right, and guys, don't kill us, man. This is our opinion. All right. So let me ask you this, brother. Give me your top five forgotten stats that proven greatness.
Okay. First of all, let's put in there Kobe Bryant 81 points. Let's start with that. Let's start with that one there. Because again, depending who you ask, that's the real record for most points in a single game. So let's start off with Kobe there, right? Second of all, people may not like this, but modern day, give me Luka. Luka Doncic, 73 points against the Atlanta Hawks. You just had to be there. Luka Doncic, if you watch that game, how could Nico Harrison trade that, brother? Then let's go to Nikola Jokic, 60-point triple-double. Let me show some love for that one as well. Unbelievable. Our boy James Harden as well, with his own 60-point triple-double as well. I had to show some love to him too. And the last one, this one, again, I wanted to go with LeBron. Give me Klay Thompson with the 3-point record. Most threes in a single game. Let's show some love. Because again, man, it's not Steph Curry, it's not Larry Bird, it's not Reggie Miller, it's Klay Thompson. Will that record ever be broken? Steph's getting older. We don't know if he's going to touch it. So, hey, let me give Klay some love. That 3-point record is the last one on my list.
I like that list. My list is a little similar. So I'm gonna obviously throw number one, that 81-point game that Kobe Bryant, Mr. Bean, had. Number two, I'm gonna put the Klay Thompson versus Chicago, the 60-point game. Then I'm gonna put Shaq's 61 game against the Clippers on his birthday. And then at 4, I'm gonna put the T-Mac, man, Tracy McGrady. I don't think that'll ever be. I think that's one of the greatest scoring runs I've ever seen in my life. And I don't think nothing when that makes you become a basketball fan. Those moments like that. So I'm gonna put T-Mac at number 4, and then I'm gonna put James Harden, the beard, at number 5, the 60-point game. James Harden was a killer that year. And I personally think the numbers he did in 2018 and 2017 are some of the most legendary numbers in basketball history. So I'm gonna have to end. I'm gonna have to say James Harden number 5. All
Yeah.
right, this is the one that this can be the one that people will probably be surprised with. And I'm gonna ask you, bro,
Mm-hmm.
give me your top 5 NBA what ifs.
Okay. Let's go. Top 5 NBA what ifs. Number 1, give me what if Kobe and Shaq never broke up? How many championships are we looking at? Because, hey, they won 3. They went to NBA Finals in 04. As Shaq is starting to decline, Kobe's starting to take off. Hey, how many more championships do they win if they stay together? That's my 1. Number 2, Michael Jordan. If he doesn't retire during that little period and the Houston Rockets get those 2 championships, what if Mike is there? What if Michael Jordan is there? Are we talking about an 8 straight NBA Finals, 8-time NBA champion Michael Jordan? Like, bro, that would have been insane in itself. So give me that as well. Kevin Durant, the third one. If KD doesn't go to the Golden State Warriors, are we sitting here in 2025 with KD being ringless? Is that what we're talking about? But also, that's a double. It's a double orbit. That also leads into, also a little bit of my number 4. If KD doesn't go, what if KD doesn't go to the Warriors? LeBron James. They could get their very own three-peat as well, because 2017, the Cavs, to me, were better in 2017 than they were in 2016. So LeBron potentially is going 16-17. If you're back-to-back championships, does Kyrie leave at the end of 2017? So you could be looking at a three-peat going to 2018. What if LeBron James is a three-peat champion, got 5 NBA titles, and then wins another one with LA 6? Hey, we're having some different conversations. Then last what if? I gotta go with Len Bias. That's always the OG one, because Len Bias, we always hear all the stories that everyone said he potentially was going to be better than Michael Jordan. Everything. There was a lot of stories you can go out and read about him. What if he got his opportunity? God rest his soul. What would come of him? So I'll put that as my number 5.
Bro, I like your list. Rest in peace, Len Bias, man. Okay, so my list is a little different than that. I do have the what if Shaq. What if Shaq and Kobe stay together? Do they go 4? Do they go 5? All right. I have that. Number 2, what if Shaq stays with Penny Hardaway? Do they potentially get a ring in Orlando? Okay? And of course, if you're a basketball fan, this has to be on your what ifs. What if Jordan does not retire? Does he go 8? Do they see Houston in the finals? All right, that's 3. Number 4, what if Carmelo Anthony was drafted by the Detroit Pistons? Would Melo have a ring? All right. And then I would say number 5, if I'm going to put this in quotation marks, if David Stern lets Chris Paul go to the Lakers, do we see Chris Paul get his NBA championship?
That's an unbelievable list. That's an unbelievable. I think you won it at that with the last one. You won it there. You won it there. I completely forgot about that trade. Yeah, I give that one to you. That's an unbelievable list. Closing,
bro,
with that
because
CP3.
bro, imagine if CP3 and Kobe play together. What happens? What happens to the league?
Prime? Oh, especially that prime. Yeah, we're talking potential championship, man. Them and the Heat going toe to toe. There would have been Lakers versus Heat in the finals for 3 straight years. 100%.
Yeah, it would have been the Lakers in the because that's what the NBA wanted. In 2010, we wanted LeBron versus Kobe. That's what it was supposed to be. Cleveland was not supposed to lose to Orlando. That wasn't supposed to happen. That's why we got all these Christmas commercials and all that year where you saw the commercials with Nike, LeBron and Kobe going at it. That was supposed to happen. And I think if CP goes to the Lakers, I think Cleveland comes up with a tactic to try to get a trade so they can beat Orlando. That
Yeah.
was supposed to happen. That was
Yeah.
supposed to happen. So I think those are my what ifs. Because if and we can argue Carmelo. If Carmelo goes to Detroit, Detroit wins one that year. Even though they beat the Lakers, the Lakers don't get they beat Lakers what in 5 games? The Lakers
Yeah.
don't even get a game. The Lakers
Yeah.
don't get a game on them if Carmelo's in there.
And they could win
And
even more. That's the problem. That's the
they
thing.
don't
They could have
and-
won
and-
even more.
exactly. And I don't think we're gonna have a different conversation if Carmelo wins a ring. Carmelo wins a ring. Carmelo's in that top 5 for small forwards of all time. You can argue me all day. I don't care what nobody says. No, I'm not being biased because he's one of my favorite players. But he's in that top 5, whether you like it or not. So those are my what ifs, man. Those are my what ifs.
Off your list. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. Yo, this has been another episode of Just Talk Sports. Your homie Ray Swabe. You know I got the homie. All right, P Talk Sports. Yes, sir. Go check out P Talk Sports on TikTok and Instagram. And of course, go check us out, Just a Thought Podcast, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And that boy, P Talks also has YouTube as well. Go check him out. Guys, this is only the beginning, man. Episode 2. We are out.
Catch you later, man.
Yes, sir.